in South Africa, at least in the Gold Coast, there has never been enough white men there to constitute a nationhood. If the Gold Coasters at any time wanted to drive him out, and they drove him out, those white men have got England for their homeland.
The only thing I know is, according to the partition of Africa and the scramble for Africa in 1884, all the white men came to Africa and they settled at the places which suit them best, according to her. If you go to South Africa, the climate is Mediterranean in certain places, so you see white men there. If you go to East Africa, it is tropical. But because of the highlands, it's relatively cooler. And so you see white men there. That's why you get the mama in East Africa. In the Gold Coast, it is jungle, mosquitoes and everything. And so the white men don't like to live in the Gold Coast. That's natural.
And Mimi, and excuse me, Navy, and Dix, I want to ask you this. Dix just said that there weren't enough white men in the Gold Coast. Would your point of view be that believing in separateness, you've kept yourself so separated from the white men in the Gold Coast that maybe your standard of living has...
No, ma'am. We were just keeping, side by side with them.
I specifically play this video for people who sometimes make loose talks. Like, Ghana should have left the country for white people or the British people to develop the country like South Africa. And when I listen to some of these talks, you just know that those people don't know their history. Because if you know what it took South Africa to get the independence that they have today, after 1948, what they went through, the struggle that they were going through, to the extent that it took the whole of Africa to stand behind South Africa before they could gain their independence. Zambia literally became the home for this ANC people. That is the headquarters. That is where they were. Nigeria was giving them money. Nigeria had to donate a lot of money. They even introduced what is called the Mandela tax. You can Google Mandela tax.
You don't know.
This is where money or portion of the income of civil servants were taken to support South Africa. Students had to give a portion of their money, their lunch money, to support the struggle. When you come to Ghana, like universities literally became the hotbed for these people. That is where things like African Youth Command even came under the Kutu Champon era, where students were joining secondary school, university schools and everything. They were marching up and down, protesting against this apartheid in South Africa, to the extent that they even boycotted Barclays Bank in Ghana because of their tie to South Africa. Members who were part of the ANC and were sent on exile, they came to Ghana, they were given passports. In 1960, Miriam Makeba, she was given a passport by Kwame Nkrumah when the apartheid governments in South Africa revoked their own because of the testimony she gave at the UN against them. Why do you think a movie like Sarafina became very popular in Africa? Everybody was relating to the situation.
Now, I want to ask this question. After everything that all these African nations, African countries give their help to South Africans, what is going on in South Africa today? Those your brothers, those